Hi everyone, I'm Helen. Welcome to my channel. If you are new here, it's great to have you, and if you are returning, it's brilliant to see you again. Today's yoga class will be an easy flow, and it is aimed at bringing about some energy in the body. If you're feeling a bit lethargic, a bit worn down, a bit blur, then this is the class for you. We will do a nice, slow, energizing flow, and this is also menopause friendly. We're going to keep those cortisol levels down, but we're still going to maybe elevate our heart rate a little bit. Might have a few beads of sweat. It is aimed to bring energy in the body and make us feel good. Let's start sitting on a block or a bolster or a cushion, just so the hips are higher than the knees, and that way the spine can be straight. Palms this time will come facing upwards, and this represents that you're open to receive inspiration and maybe feel a bit motivated. Make sure the head is stacked above the shoulders, which is stacked above the pelvis, and slowly close the eyes. And just take a moment to settle onto your mat. Maybe bring in the awareness to the breath in, and then the breath out. If you like, the next time you exhale, you can do it audibly. And when we exhale through the mouth like that, it brings about a sense of serenity to the nervous system. Just take a moment to do a quick body scan. Notice if you're tensing anywhere, in your shoulders maybe, the jaw, the tongue, the hips, the feet. Just notice how the body feels physically, and maybe notice how you're feeling energetically. Sometimes the hardest task of all is to pull on our comfy clothes, roll out that mat and get started. Once we do, we never regret it. Take one more breath. And then with a soft gaze, open the eyes. Wonderful. If you're sitting on a prop like I am, just come off to the side. Come into a comfortable cross-legged position. On an inhale, reach the arms up to the sky. Palms might come together, and then down the center of the heart. Again, inhale, lift. Exhale, come down. One more time. Inhale, lift. And then exhale, come down. Extend the left fingertips outside the left hip, and on an inhale, sweep the right arm across the front of the body and come into this side lean, this lateral bend of the spine. You can have the head facing forward or look down towards the hand, wherever feels good for you. And then inhale, come up over to the other side, planting the right hand, sweeping the left arm across the body, and then reaching out of the shoulder and the waist, grounding that left hip, looking down or looking forward. And then inhale, come back up. This time, inhale both arms to the sky. And using the strength of the spine and the core muscles, rotate towards the left. Bring this right hand on the left knee. The other one comes behind. Inhale, reach out of the spine nice and tall. As you exhale, maybe rotate just 1 millimeter more. And try and make the rotation come from the muscles in the spine rather than forcing and leveraging with the hands. This way, it helps us develop our mobility because we're using those muscles to mobilize. And then inhale back to the center, and same over to the other side, using the strength of the core to rotate. The hands are just there really as a guide. Lengthening the spine as you inhale, and maybe rotating 1 millimeter more as you exhale. Feeling good in the body. Twists are so good for us. And then inhale, come back up. Release the hands down, and we'll rock over and come into just a couple of cat-cows to warm up the spine. Hands are directly underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. On an inhale, the belly dips and the chest lifts, head comes up, chest through the gates of the arms. And as you exhale, rotating the spine like a Halloween cat, tucking everything in on itself. Inhale to cow. Exhale to cat. Inhale to cow. And then exhale to cat. And bring the seat back down to the heels. Stack the fists one on top of each other. Bring the forehead to the fists and just stay here for a moment in this child's pose, reconnecting. Maybe noticing if your energy level has increased slightly as we've done all those spinal warm-up. One more breath here. And release the hands out in front. Come back up to hands and knees. Move the hands one handprint in front of the shoulders. Tuck the toes. And on an inhale, seat comes up to the sky for a downward facing dog. Feet are around hip distance. Hands around shoulder distance. Triceps are rotated towards the back of the room. Upper back is wide. Ears come between the biceps. Knees can be bent, and imagine your tailbone is going up to the sky and you're elongating the spine. Feeling a lot of length here. Maybe pedaling out the leg. And as we are in downward dog, sometimes I like to visualize that I am a particular kind of dog where we want length in the body, length in the spine. I always think of those breeds like Afghan hounds or greyhounds that have these long limbs. So visualize you are maybe an Afghan hound. You've got these long legs. Then start to settle the heels. Maybe they descend towards the earth, maybe not. It's always okay if they don't touch. Grounding into the base of the knuckles. The finger pads are gripping the earth. Upper back is wide. Then when you're ready, raise up onto the tiptoes, look forward and tiptoe to the front of the mat. Bend the knees and drape the belly over the thighs. Grab the elbows for ragdoll. You might want to sway gently from side to side, just stretching out that lower back. If it feels okay in the body, you can start to straighten the legs, but don't feel obliged to do that. Still early on. It all depends on the flexibility of your hamstrings. Maybe let the head go, just shaking it side to side. Then release the hands to the floor or to the shins. On an inhale, lengthen out of the waist for a halfway lift. So using the core to support the spine. Hands can be on the shins to maybe take some of the body weight. Then bend the knees slightly. Bring the hands to the hips. Engage that front spine. And on an inhale, come all the way up to standing. Wonderful. We'll be at the top of the mat. On an inhale, lift both arms up to the sky, full body stretch. And then exhale, float the arms down by the side. Again, inhale, lift. Exhale, float. This time, inhale the right arm up to the sky and then sweep it across the front of the body. And release. Inhale, left arm comes up and sweeps across the front of the body. Again, this time, inhale, the right arm comes up and bring your gaze to your fingertips. And as you sweep it across, keep looking at your hand. Follow it with the eyes and the other way. Inhale the left arm up, looking at that palm, and then following it with your gaze as it comes in front of the body. One more each side of these. Inhale, lift, following the gaze, just feeling that stretch down the side body. Inhale, lift, and across. Excellent. On an inhale, both arms come up to the sky. As you exhale, forward fold. You can bend the knees. Inhale into a halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands and step back to a plank pose. We will hold here for 5 breaths. Straight arm strength, engaging the whole of the front body. Legs are active. Imagine the heels are pushing into an imaginary wall. Your body is on a diagonal. Shoulders are protracted, so you're rounding the upper back. Breathing deep, focusing, noticing where the mind's going, knowing that everything is only temporary. And you can do this, grounding into the base of the knuckles and the finger pads. Then lift the hips and come into a downward facing dog. Bring the feet as wide as the mat, so you're in a wide dog. Ground down into that right palm. Take the left hand and grab the outside of the right leg. So you may grab around the knee or the ankle, whatever is available in your body. Looking under that right armpit. Sit bones to the sky. And then release on the other side. Ground down into that left hand. Bring this right arm under and across. Grabbing whatever is in your reach. And breathing deep. And then return. Bring the feet back to the regular downward dog distance. This time, we'll rock forward to plank and we'll roll onto the right side of the right foot and come into a side plank. Now, you can bring the right knee down and do a modified side plank like this. Or if it's in your body, you can stagger the feet or you can stack. Whatever version is good for you. Straight arm strength, stacking the shoulders, engaging the core. Breathing steady. Then we rock back to a plank and over to the other side. Coming onto that left hand and either the left knee or the left side of the left foot. Stacking the shoulders, engaging everything. This is such a great strengthener for the entire body. Sometimes known as strong arm pose. And then bring the top hand down, rock back to a plank again, sit bones to the sky. Taking a free breath, letting it go. And we will start to move. On an inhale, right leg to the sky. Exhale, step the right foot up between the hands. Get it there any way you can. Inhale, lengthen out of the waist for a low lunge. Plant this left hand. Right arm comes up to the sky. For a low lunge twist. Exhale, bring this hand down. Back knee descends. And we sit the hips back for a hamstring stretch of Hanumanasana, half split. Coming back forward, lift the back knee, plant the left hand, and we'll rotate the feet into this horizon pose. Return back to a low lunge. We step back, downward facing dog. Take a free breath. We'll do that on the other side. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, left foot steps up. Coming into this low lunge. Getting a stable base. Pulling this left hip back, right hip forward. Then right hand plants. Left arm comes up to the sky for this easy twist. Breathing deep. Hand comes down, back knee descends, sit back for this hamstring stretch. Then we come forward, Plant the right hand, and this time rotate both feet towards the left side of the mat, horizon on this side. It's a great hip stretch. Inhale, come back, step back, downward facing dog. Take a free breath. Inhale, right leg lifts to the sky. Exhale, right foot steps up between the hands. Lengthen out of the waist and then ground into the front foot. We'll come up for crescent pose. Arms to the sky. Bending into that front knee, back leg as straight as possible. Hips are scissoring. Arms to the sky, front ribs are in. Deep breaths. And palms come to the chest. Lift this left elbow and we hook on the outside of the right thigh. If this is too much, remember this back knee can be down on the earth. Breathing deep here. Widen in the shoulders, open in the chest. Twisting towards the right. And the transition from here is into a warrior two. So think about what that will be like in your body. First thing we do is we bring the body back to the midline. We come up into a crescent, back leg plants, and we move into warrior two. Breathing here, arms to a T. Flip the front palm, reverse warrior. Full body stretch to the back. This is a side stretch. Feels so good. Come back up. Cartwheel the hands down. Step back to plank or downward facing dog. If you like, you can take a vinyasa. You don't have to do this. And then release. Side B. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, left foot steps up. Coming into this low lunge. Grounding into the front heel. And we come up to crescent pose. Breathing deep. Back leg straight and strong. Front knee over front ankle. Hips are scissoring. Shoulders relax, arms straight to the sky. And palms come to the chest. Lift this right elbow, rotating, using that spine, hooking outside the left knee. Palms come to the chest. If you like, you can bring this back knee down. Twisting here, keeping the shoulders wide, chest open. And the transition is to that warrior two from here. So we'll do it in stages. Rotate the body back to the midline. Come back up to crescent. Then the back foot plants. Come into this warrior two stance and open out. Warrior two. The back foot is in line with the front heel at the middle of the back foot. And then flip the front palm, come into reverse warrior, back to warrior two, cartwheel the hands, take a vinyasa, or go straight to downward facing dog. And we'll all meet there. Take a free breath. And we begin again. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, right foot steps up. Get your stable base, crescent pose. Palms come to the chest. Lift the left elbow. Hook over the outside of the right. Chest is wide. We come back to the midline. Back to crescent. Open into warrior two. Flip the front palm, reverse warrior. Straighten the front leg this time for reverse triangle. Come back up, maybe shorten the stance, lengthen out of the waist and move into triangle pose. Your hand can come to the shin, to a block, to the ankle, to the toe, to the floor, anywhere that feels good in your body. Consciously lengthen both sides of the waist, ground down into the big toe mound of the front foot, stack the shoulders and breathe deep. Then using this top hand, use that to pull you up. We come back to a warrior two, and then a vinyasa or straight to downward facing dog. Side B. Left leg lifts. Step up between the hands. Get the stable base. Come up, crescent pose. Hands come to the chest. The right elbow lifts. We come into this twist. Return to the midline. Back to crescent. Open into warrior two. Flip the front palm, reverse the warrior. Then we straighten the front leg for reverse triangle. Bring the body to vertical, maybe shorten the stance. Reach out of the waist, ground into the front big toe mound, and come into triangle on this side. Stacking the shoulders, lengthening both sides of the waist, externally rotating the front thigh. The hand comes to wherever feels good. Use the strength of the core to hold the body rather than dumping all the way into the bottom hand. Lengthen in the spine, breathing steady. Then bring your awareness to the top hand and imagine that it's pulling you up as you come back up. Bend that front knee and cartwheel the hands down and take a vinyasa. Or go to straight to downward facing dog. In downward facing dog, look to the front of the mat and either walk or step up. Come into a halfway lift, descend over the legs, and then all the way up to standing. We'll do a balanced pose, eagle. This is great for strengthening the legs and for helping focus the mind. I will mirror you here. Ground down into this right foot and bend both knees, but all the weight is really in this right foot. Hands are at the hips. Lift the left leg up, cross it over the top of the right. Your toes, your left toes might come to the earth like this, or if it's in your body, maybe you double wrap. So the left leg is on top. This means the left arm comes under, and you can either hug yourself, bring the backs of the hands together, or do the full eagle wrap. The key here is to really lock the legs. I knew I was going to fall over. Lock the legs together and bend the knees. Activating your root lock, your mula bandha. Fixed gazing point. Lift the elbows up. You feel a wonderful stretch in the back of the shoulder blades. And maybe you can start to curl in on yourself. So this pose helps us turn inward as well. Steady mind. And then from here we will open out fully, freeing our eagle, a symbol of freedom, and release down. Excellent. That's a really good strengthener for the legs, that one. Okay, side B. Grounding into the left foot. First of all, bending both the knees, starting to bring all the weight into this left foot. Activate that root lock, zipping up the midline, lifting the right leg up, crossing it over, either a double wrap or a kickstand. The right arm comes under the left. Get your wrap. Lift the elbows. Fixed gazing point. Hugging everything in. Staying upright like this. Or maybe you can curl in. Pulling in on yourself. Steady breath. Steady mind. And then when you're ready, slowly start to come out. And free your eagle. And release and shake it out. And here we'll make our way to the floor. My favorite way is Malasana, because this is so good for the health of the lower spine and the hips. Feet are facing out on an angle, knees facing the same direction as the toes. Palms come to the chest and start to sit back down. Remember, if it's not accessible to you, you can come to a block like this. Bringing the backs of the arms inside the thighs, actively pushing them out and then pushing back on them with the thighs. Lengthen the spine, crown to the sky. Deep breaths. Then release the seat down. And we'll come into some seated forward folds. So this helps bring down the nervous system. We did a bit of energizing and strengthening work. We want to make sure we come out of that active zone, bringing down the nervous system, helping us relax, keep getting us into the parasympathetic tone. On an inhale, lengthen out the waist, keeping the torso straight. We come forward as much as possible, keeping the spine straight till we reach the end of our range of motion. Hands can come wherever's comfortable. And when you reach the end of the range of motion, then maybe you start to curl the spine. The hands can come to the earth, to the feet, to the big toes, anywhere that feels good. Surrendering, descending, releasing. Letting go of expectation. Lengthening the breath. Slowly lift the head and the spine so you're in that straight line again. Come back up and we'll release down onto the back. Get there any way you can. Bring the knees into the chest. Spread the knees as wide as the armpits. The feet come up to the sky. Grab the outside of the feet for a happy baby, pulling the knees down to the armpits. Imagining your feet are pressing into the heavens above. Trying to keep the entire spine on the earth. Shoulders are relaxed, maybe close the eyes. If it feels good, you can even rock gently side to side. Slowly release the feet, bring the knees back to the midline. Bring the knees directly over the hips. Arms come to a cactus shape, and we'll move into a reclined twist, bringing the knees over to the left side of the mat. Lifting the head off the earth, rotating it mid-air to turn to face the right shoulder if that feels good. Feeling it down the right side body. Then back to the midline and over to the other side. Releasing the legs gently to the right, lifting the head, turning mid-air and looking over that left shoulder. You only ever do one yoga pose a day, make it a twist. So beneficial to the spine and the digestive system. Just feels so good. Back to the center line. And release the feet down. If you feel your body's craving it, you can lift the hips and come into a gentle bridge. Arms come by the side with the palms facing down, grounding into the backs of the arms. Imagining the tailbone is going towards the backs of the knees, open in the front body, breathing deep. Gently releasing one vertebra at a time, starting at the top, rolling through the spine until the tailbone or the sacrum comes to the earth. And we'll move into final relaxation, Savasana, releasing the legs out one by one, allowing the feet to flop open, allowing the palms to face up towards the sky. No part of the body is touching another part. Chin is slightly tucked, back of the neck is long. Eyes are closed. Mind is released and relaxed and melt into the earth. Bring the awareness back into the body, to the feet and to the toes, maybe wiggling them. And then when it feels good, just interlace the fingers above the head, full body stretch. You can bring the knees in one by one to the chest. Give yourself a little hug and a squeeze. Thank yourself for carving time out to do a yoga practice, to move in your body, feel good in your body, create energy, feel enlivened. It really is a wonderful gift that you can give to yourself every day. And when you're ready, just gently fall over onto your favorite side. Come into a little fetal position. Then with your eyes closed, when it feels good for you, gently push up to a comfortable seat. And we will bring out palms to the knees again, facing upwards, representing receiving, and that we're open to inspiration and to motivation to move through our day with purpose and enjoyment and energy. Bring the palms together at the chest, thumbs touching the heart. And thank you for practicing with me today. I truly appreciate everybody that spends time with me on the mat. It does mean a lot to me. and I hope to practice again with you soon. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you. If you're interested in starting a regular movement practice, I do have a 30 days of motion program. It's 30 classes, which are mobility classes, yoga classes, yin yoga classes as well, and some restorative classes designed to be done over 30 days. And it really helps you build a healthy habit of moving every day. Sometimes, and I do this as well, I'll go on YouTube to find a practice and I'm scrolling. Having one there already made for you that you can follow every day, it helps keep you accountable, it helps motivate you. When you've completed it, it gives you a real sense of achievement. I will put the link below this video for that. And if you have any questions, just drop me an email. But I would love for you to join me. And I've also just added to that program a de-stress toolkit with some practices in there. Anyway, enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.